Welcome to the Past Check channel. When people think about the children of Adam and Eve, the first names that often come to mind are Cain and Abel. Their story is well known, especially the tragic part where Cain, out of jealousy and anger, killed his own brother Abel. This dramatic story is one of the earliest and most remembered tales in the Bible. But what many people don't realize, or sometimes forget, is that Adam and Eve had other children besides Cain and Abel. In fact, the Bible mentions that Adam and Eve had many sons and daughters. Yet these other children, especially the daughters, are rarely talked about. They are usually passed over in sermons, Bible studies, and even in historical or religious documentaries. In this video, we'll shine a light on these overlooked figures, the daughters of Adam and Eve. Who were these daughters? How many were there? What do ancient texts and traditions say about them? To find the answers, we'll explore not only the Bible, but also other ancient sources such as the Book of Jubilees, the Book of Enoch, and other writings from Jewish and Semitic traditions. Together, these sources help paint a more complete picture of early humanity, going beyond just the names we usually hear. So, if you find this topic intriguing, go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts or questions. Let's begin uncovering the untold story of Adam and Eve's daughters. Often forgotten, yet mentioned. In most religious discussions, people tend to focus on Adam and Eve's sons. Cain, the firstborn, is known for his conflict with Abel, and Seth is often remembered as the one who carried on the righteous line. But Genesis chapter 5 verses 4-5 offers an important clue. After Seth was born, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Adam lived 930 years, and then he died. This means that Adam and Eve had many children over hundreds of years. While the Bible doesn't list the names of the daughters, this verse confirms their existence. So why do we know so little about them? Part of the reason is that ancient cultures, including the writers of biblical texts, often focused on male lineage and inheritance, which led to women being less documented in genealogies. However, other sources outside the Bible, especially texts like the Book of Jubilees, provide more details. The Book of Jubilees, a key source. The Book of Jubilees, sometimes called Little Genesis, is part of ancient Jewish tradition. Although it isn't included in the modern Bible used by most Christians today, it was widely respected by early Jews and even early Christians. It tells many of the same stories found in Genesis but adds extra details and timelines. According to the Book of Jubilees, its contents were revealed to Moses by an angel while he was on Mount Horeb. This is the same mountain where the Bible says Moses spent 40 days and 40 nights with God, without food or water. While scholars debate its authorship, some say Ezra the scribe may have written it. Others believe it reflects an even more ancient tradition passed down from earlier prophets. In ancient Israel, the Book of Jubilees had a strong influence, and it even refers to another key ancient text, the Book of Enoch. Both books help fill in the gaps left by the biblical account. The first daughter, Avan or Kalima. According to the Book of Jubilees and other early Semitic texts, Adam and Eve's first daughter was named Avan. In some texts, such as the Cave of Treasures, she is called Kalima instead. The name Avan in Phoenician Hebrew can mean power or vice. She is said to have married her own brother Cain, which was a common practice in the earliest generations. Since all of humanity descended from this first family, and there were no other people to marry. Avan gave birth to children with Cain, and one of their sons was named Enoch. After Cain was banished for killing Abel, the Bible says he built a city and named it after his son, the city of Enoch. This act showed that even after his punishment, Cain began a new family line. Avan, as his wife and sister, became the mother of that lineage. The second daughter, Azurah. The Book of Jubilees also tells us about another daughter of Adam and Eve, named Azurah. She became the wife of Seth, the third son of Adam and Eve, born after the tragic death of Abel. Seth's name is associated with compensation or substitute, because Adam and Eve saw him as a replacement for their lost son Abel. Azurah, according to some texts, was originally promised to Abel before his death. After Abel died, Ahuzah remained unmarried until Seth reached adulthood. And then she married him to continue the righteous family line. The Book of Jubilees gives exact timing. Ahuzah was born in the 6th week of the 4th Jubilee. And she married Seth in the 5th week of the 5th Jubilee. Their son Enos was born in the 4th year of the 6th week. When Enos grew up, he married his sister Noam, the daughter of Seth and Ahuzah. Enos and the rise of worship. Enos, the son of Seth and Ahuzah, plays an important role in religious tradition. Genesis chapter 4 verse 26 says, "At that time, people began to call on the name of the Lord." This suggests that Enos helped start a spiritual revival, a return to prayer, worship, and devotion to God. He is known for his piety and is often credited with helping to keep the knowledge of God alive during a time when the world was becoming more corrupt. Genesis chapter 5 verses 6 to 11 details his genealogy. Seth lived 105 years before having Enos, then lived another 807 years. Enos lived 90 years before having a son named Kenan, and continued living 815 more years, fathering other children. How many children did Adam and Eve have? The Bible says Adam lived 930 years and had many sons and daughters. While no exact number is given in the Bible, ancient traditions suggest a very large family. Given their long lifespans and high fertility, it's possible that Adam and Eve had hundreds of children. Eve, as the first woman, is said to have been extremely fertile. Adam too had great health and strength. To understand how this might be possible, consider a modern comparison. According to the Guinness World Records, the woman with the most children in recorded history is Valentina Vassiliev. She had 69 children during 27 pregnancies, including 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets. She lived to the age of 76. Now imagine someone like Eve, living up to 900 years with perfect health and natural fertility. Many traditions believe Adam and Eve had at least 70 named children, and possibly many more. The daughters and human diversity. Genesis chapter 6 verse 1 says that when humans began to multiply on the earth, many beautiful daughters were born. This shows that Adam and Eve's daughters weren't just many in number, but were also important to the growth of humanity. An interesting point from early traditions is that Adam and Eve were created with diverse genetics. This means their children likely had different skin tones, hair types, and physical features. They were the source of what would later become the world's various ethnic groups. Modern science supports this idea. A study of mitochondrial DNA, known as the concept of mitochondrial Eve, shows that all humans share a common female ancestor. This supports the biblical idea that all of humanity descended from one original couple. So even though we may have different appearances today, different languages, customs, and cultures, we are all connected through the same human origin. The daughters of Adam and Eve played a key part in this story of diversity, growth, and survival. Final thoughts. So now you know, Adam and Eve had daughters, many of them, who were just as important as their sons. Though the Bible doesn't name them, ancient traditions like the Book of Jubilees help us understand who they were and the roles they played. Cain married his sister Avan or Kalima, and their line continued. Seth married his sister Ahuzah, and from them came a faithful line that led to Noah and eventually to us. Their daughters helped shape the future of humanity, even if history has often forgotten to tell their stories. What do you think about the daughters of Adam and Eve? Were you surprised by what the ancient texts revealed? Let me know in the comments, and feel free to suggest more biblical characters or topics you'd like to explore in future videos. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.